I'm going to create a series of drawings of dinosaur skulls using methods inspired by Damien Hirst on here. So the first one I'm doing is just a continuous line drawing. So here I'm using a pencil and drawing in a continuous line. That means I'm really carefully looking at my model and drawing without lifting my pen off the paper. So I'm working on my hand-eye coordination and improving my drawing skills on them, trying to add all the detail I can. Once I've done this, I'm going to come back in and in a really loose kind of scribbly method like Damien Hirst used, I'm going to add the shadows in the dark areas and then a little bit of the texture. So I want to see all the little cracks in the skulls and the little lines on there. Once I've done that, I'm going to work on first putting a few notes. So I'm showing that I've put fine texture, writing where I've put tone, and explaining that I've put continuous line drawing on there. So here I'm using a different set of tools. Here I've got a coloured pen on here to create more drawings on there. As you can see, I'm trying to fill that little bit of space I've got left at the bottom, so this skull might just kind of be cut short and have a little bit of detail on there. So here I've got a different skull, but I'm using the same technique of continuous line, drawing really carefully. That video is sped up, so you need to work quite slowly on there, and trying to add all the details, all the teeth and all the kind of texture of the skull on there. So same, I'm working then with that kind of scribbly line to put in the tone on here and the dark areas to really make my skull look a little bit more 3D and realistic. Even so, I'm using a very low style. You can see scribbling over some of the grey areas as well. And once I've added enough detail on there, it's quite a quick drawing. I'm now using a coloured pencil and just doing a really small drawing in that last bit of space I've got down here, just focusing on the nose of the skull on there and using my same scribbly line to add some detail and a little bit of shadow on here. So here, as you can see, I've only got room for a small quick drawing on there. Now I'm adding some notes, just explaining what I thought was the most important, which were looking carefully at the model and adding the detail on there. So on this side, I'm going to show you a slightly larger drawing and slow down the technique a little bit again. So you really need to look really slowly. Same, that's about twice the speed I would have gone at normally on here, so it's sped up a little bit on the video again. And have this line that shows all the details, so all the holes in the skull, the teeth, the jaws, and so on. So try to be as accurate as possible on here. Once you've done this, same here, you can see I'm using a fine liner, but I'm using the same scribbly technique of scribbly hatching and cross hatching to fill in the tone on there. So I'm going to carry on doing these exercises with a variety of poses in my skull, using a mixture of pencil, fine liners, coloured pencils and pen on there. Once I've done this, I'm going to go in really kind of quickly and carefully with a really diluted watercolour to create a wash and a little bit of interest here in the background. So you need to make sure you've got plenty of water on your brush, and just don't put a lot of paint. It's just a really thin background to make your drawings look a little bit more interesting and finish the presentation of your page.